Welcome to Story Time with Shay. Today we're going to talk about transitioning to a plant-based diet. So I'm guessing you're all here because you're a subscriber, you're following me, and you like my videos. Or you might just be here because you're considering transitioning to a plant-based diet. I know at first the idea can sound daunting, but I have 5 tips to help you get there. Tip 1, know your why. Tip 2, mindset change. Tip 3, take your time. Tip 4, find a friend. And tip 5, educate yourself. Now, before we get started, I just want to remind you all to contact a professional. Talk to your doctor. Talk to your nutritionist. Don't do your own research. Don't just listen to me. I'm just giving you advice from my own experience. Tip number 1, know your why. Why are you considering a plant-based diet? This right here is important. You need to know your why so on the days you feel like giving up, you can go back to your why. Write down your why. Put it somewhere visible. Stick it on your vision board, but make sure you can see it. It doesn't matter what your why is. One thing you're going to learn within the plant-based community is that everyone has a different why. Believe me, disease prevention, weight loss, saving the environment, distrust in the food industry, that's my why. Kinder to animals, health conscious, or you're having a spiritual awakening and you want to eat high vibrational foods. I get it. Tip 2, mindset change. Change the way you feel about the foods you do not really want to give up, but you're doing it because of your why. For me, I had to learn about the food industry, how food was being delivered and packaged and handled, and how animals were being handled. A lot of that made me distrust the food industry. Seeing COVID happen, how everyone was so dependent on supermarkets, that also made me distrust the food industry. I'm on this self-love journey, and I want to love every part of me, including what's going inside of my body. Is it for me? Is it going to help me? If not, then I don't want it. I don't want to be in a toxic relationship with food. So that was the big part of my mindset change. Another thing when it comes to mindset change is don't think about the foods you cannot have. Think about what you're adding on to your life. All the new foods, all the different meals that are to come, instead of thinking about everything that you are removing. Always think of the positive and not the negative. If you keep a negative mindset about this transition, I'm not sure if the transition is going to go smoothly for you. So know your why. Uplift yourself when it comes to your why, and remind yourself of all the positives from this process. Tip number 3, take your time, people. Don't dive in too strong. I'm not the cold turkey overnight plant-based girl. I had spent a year still eating meat before I even transitioned to a meatless diet. But I was still telling myself I was in transition to a plant-based diet. Number 1, your mind has to arrive to the destination before your life catches up. So start speaking it into existence if this is something you really want. Number 2, I didn't want to switch over and know nothing about a plant-based lifestyle. So as I was eating meat, I was still going to restaurants, asking for the vegetarian menu, asking for the vegan menu, asking for the allergy menu, because they seem to have more choices when it comes to a plant-based lifestyle on an allergy menu. Just a heads up. Looking for recipes on websites, trying those recipes out, writing down all my favorite meals that I want to give up, and finding replacements. How can I veganize this meal so that it still can give me the same warm and cozy feelings and memories that I used to have in the past associated with this food? So you don't have to be a superhero. Listen, eating meat for a year but still diving into the plant-based lifestyle, by the end of my year, I probably had meat maybe once a month, because I started to just learn and embrace the plant-based lifestyle. I had changed my mindset to the point that I was rejecting meat, and by the time I was ready to transition, it was easy. I wasn't craving meat anymore. It's not something that I wanted. Just to expand on, take your time. Don't be a superhero. Don't dive in too strong. And so what if you mess up? We're human. We mess up. Start again as soon as you're done messing up. Oop, I had a bite of this. I wasn't supposed to. I'm trying to transition to this type of lifestyle, and this is not a part of it. Don't beat yourself up about it. Enjoy it. And then for your next meal, make sure it's plant-based. Don't give up on yourself. And don't deprive yourself, people. When you transition to a plant-based lifestyle, it requires a lot more bang for the buck, if that makes any sense. Before you were eating more calories for fewer nutrients, and now you're eating more nutrients for fewer calories. So it's time to up your food. Don't deprive yourself. If you're hungry, go eat. Go get that snack. That's a part of having a healthier lifestyle. Learn new favorites. Listen to your hunger. And remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Tip number 4, find a friend. If you hang out with a bunch of people who have no interest in transitioning into a plant-based lifestyle, it's not going to make your transition easy. You have to find someone who is already plant-based or who plans on transitioning with you so they can better understand. You don't want to hear when you decide you're going to transition to a plant-based lifestyle, you're going to hear a lot of feedback from meat eaters. Why would you do that? What, you just going to eat plants? They're just going to make it sound like the worst thing you can possibly do to yourself. And honestly, the negativity is not something you need during this transition. This transition is hard. When we have spent a lifetime doing one thing with one habit and been programmed to think one way, when we decide to do something different from that without a blueprint, it's a hard time, okay? So make sure you're doing your best to surround yourself with people that are going to uplift you, support you, people who are doing what you are doing. That's in everything in life, not just this transition. Tip number 5, educate yourself. Do your research. Talk to your health professionals. Talk to your nutritionist. Go and get your blood work done. Learn everything that you need to know about a plant-based lifestyle and staying healthy and energized and together during this journey. You don't know anything. Go into it saying, I don't know anything. I'm completely oblivious to any information that has to do with a plant-based lifestyle. And take in the information. There's YouTube videos on transitioning to a plant-based lifestyle. There's books, there's websites, there's blogs, hashtags on social medias. There's so many different resources that you can use to transition to a plant-based lifestyle. Thank you all for listening to me and my little bit of advice about transitioning to a plant-based lifestyle. My name is Shayna Singleton. I am a herpes warrior, plant-based chef, confidence coach. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for listening to what I have to say. Peace, love, and light.